Happened was I went to MAMP. What's MAMP, you're asking? It's the Miss Adams Morgan pageant, and they have it every year. And it started out, gosh, back in the 80s. And I just found out the history. By the way, I've attended it like since 2018 and just learned the history of it. But thanks to some gay men's pioneering efforts out here that would dress up in drag, and they get punished for it. But they persevered, and every year they vowed to have an annual event where they can get dressed up in their attire and go out and make themselves known and be proud. It was a nice event. It's held at the same place White House Correspondents' Dinner is held every year. I like that juxtaposition there. That's it's pretty funny. And oh my gosh, that hotel is a labyrinth. You get in there and you can get lost really quick. They picked charcoal sad gray for the interior, and every single room, hallway looks super scary. So anyhow, we get there, and it was a nice contrast with all the gray and then all the color. And this year's theme was Studio 54. So it was very disco, lots of sequins. It was really a good time. And proceeds go to various charities, whoever the reigning queens, whoever she chose for the charity, that's where all the proceeds go. Pretty spendy. It's like $100 a ticket, but a good turnout. I think they should have it at the theater. If they have it at like the Ford Theater, they'd get sold out, and they don't have to charge like $50 a ticket, because there wouldn't be expectation of having to get drink tickets and having to get food and all that other stuff. That's a lot of overhead that they have to cover for, and that's why they charge so much for the tickets. But that's neither here nor there. It was a lovely time. I've been not drinking. I hate saying sober, because then that makes it sound like I'm just not an extremist. But I have reevaluated my relationship with alcohol, and while it served its purpose in my 20s, from what I can remember, because my 20s are a bit of a blur due to the alcohol, it just, doesn't service me now that I'm in my late 40s. So I just don't recover as well, and I just don't need it to have a good time on occasion. I could have drank that night. It's when you go to events like that and you're sober and you've been to them drunk, it is different. It's more of a slog. And then I see how, because no judgment from here, but I see how others behave when they're tipsy, and I'm like, I can only imagine how obnoxious that must have been. Oh my God, the patience these people had around me. Oh my God. But it was just, I don't know. I'm getting too old for this crap. It was a good time. I'm glad we went. For me, it was just a little long, and it goes late into the evening. Now that you kids out there, if anyone ever watches anytime, you'll learn when you're in your like late 40s, like the ideal time for dinner is like 5 o'clock. That's just like the best time. Oh my God, to have dinner over with at 5. And if you're gonna do a show, like an afternoon show, start at like 2:30. Then see, because if you eat and then you go to a show, so you ate, you drank, now you're kind of sleepy, or you're tipsy, or both, and now you're trying to watch a show. It's a struggle bus. But if you do the show first and then have dinner, and then you're tucked away, you are in bed in your snuggie watching your stories at like 9 o'clock at night, it's ideal. Perfect. So yeah, all these gay events, they just like nothing even starts until like 11. And it's like, oh, it's too long. I'm too old for this crap. I can't keep up with you youths. I mean, at 11 o'clock, they're still putting on their guy liner. They're not even at the bar yet. Oy vey. I went to Kiki's. Oh gosh, Kiki's. Kiki's is a bar that opened up here in DC. And I told my husband, we are not going to be some sad sack gays just sitting on the couch watching life pass us by. We are going to do this. We're going to do this right. So we're going to get ready. We're going to go out. We're going to do this because there's a new gay bar, and gosh darn it, we're going to christen it. We're going to be there. We're going to represent our people. Go out there. That was like at 8. And then that feeling waned pretty quickly. About 9. We're like, okay, well, let's go. So we gird our loins and we wandered the streets. Took off about 7 minutes to get to the bar. We're really close to all the irony. Like I don't have any desire to do any of it, but I live right in the heart of it. Like if I wanted to, maybe that's it too. That's like knowing it's always there. But I'm like, if I wanted to go out, I could. There's options. So we make the 7-minute journey to Kiki's, and we're the only ones there because it's 9 o'clock. I didn't piece that together at the time though. And Chaz, or whatever his name is, behind the bar is still putting on his guy liner in the middle of like chopping fruit. And it's like, I guess technically we're open. What can I get you? And I was like, I'm just gonna take like a club soda. And Joey got whatever. And then I just saw myself in the mirror when I said, "Oh, the music is just so loud." So had my time, and I'm giving it back to you, gays, and here, go forth and prosper. Too old. But anywho's bees. Oh, I was talking about MAMP. MAMP was a good time. Highly recommend it. I hope they start making some evolution, because the people who frequent it are people like me, and people like me are old. So I'm hoping they're going to move the time and make it a little shorter, and not worry so much about the overhead and food, and worry more about just the charity itself. But I digress. What else was going to talk about? Oh my gosh. Cinnamon Toast Crunch makes you fat. I mean, they promise on the box, it says it's get your daily vitamins and minerals and all that. So I'm like, oh, it's healthy. But when you have a baking size bowl with whole milk, turns out you're going to gain weight. I looked at myself in the mirror on Saturday, trying to squeeze myself into my little MAMP disco number, and I thought, oh, maybe it could be the fact that I am eating like 6, 7 bowls of cinnamon toast crunch every day throughout the day with whole milk, um, that negates my 6-mile run that I do. Maybe that's what's happening. So yeah, I've learned from this morning's run, as I'm running around the track, thundering down the track, that no, I'm not going to eat my cinnamon toast crunch. I'm going to have willpower. There's a whole bag from Costco in the pantry right now, but I don't care. It's not calling to me. I can totally go without it, even though there's no milk. So that's the thing. I didn't buy milk, so that's helping me not think about the unopened bag of Cinnamon Toast Crunch in the pantry. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's so good. So I bought Cinnamon Toast Crunch protein powder, though. It'll pack on the pounds real quick. Oh, what else happened? I'm trying to think. Oh, my husband's birthday. Oh, we did the birthday yesterday. Oh my God, so much better. Tip and tricks. So I know everyone just loves brunch and going out for brunch. And the gays, we love the brunch. But I am telling y'all, especially in this economy with everybody getting furloughed and no work and all this crap, let me give some tips and tricks from an old gay. My husband's birthday was going to originally be at this cute little gay tavern, Shaw's Tavern, down the street, but it was going to be like for 13 people. Okay, first of all, no, all 13 people aren't going to show up on time. That's just a given, right? So now you're worried, like, okay, they'll seat you if you have like the majority of your party, but only the majority. And then you've got to wonder, like, are they going to show up? And then it comes time to order, and they always, when they get a mimosa at the table, it's like half, 3/4 orange juice and like a little whisper of champagne, and that is not this crowd. So we like the champagne, and you just wave the orange juice over the glass, but don't actually pour it in there. Just know it's there and accessible should anyone want to drop or two. But there's that. Then there's like, it's so loud. I know, again, with me in the loud, but it is so loud because it's upstairs and the music, and then it's again upstairs, and so it's really hot. And so you got all these bodies, and it's hot, and there isn't enough mimosas. They're powering through them like they're drinking it like water. There's just not enough going on. And I was like, oh, this is just too much. And you always have that poor sap that gets saddled with our table, and it's a bunch of drunks, and then comes time for the bill, and then what a nightmare that is. Despite their efforts, I mean, they have these cute little QR codes, and you can pay for your own bill, but you're always going to have to Helen Keller some drunk through the whole process at the end, and it's just, ugh, it's too much. So I had an epiphany. I'm like, husband, to celebrate your birth, how about you make your own birthday breakfast? Because no one wants me cooking. And then you can have your party here. So what I did was I cleared the house. I made like, and we don't have a very big place, but we made it work. I created like 13 seats, and we were able to get everybody in there, and it worked out great. And what the price of admission was just a bottle of Prosecco. That's all anyone had to bring. So they came in with a bottle of Prosecco. Everybody did. And then we, of course, had, several bottles on hand from Costco. And we had, what it would have cost one person to have one meal at Shaw's Tavern, we were able to entertain 13 people. I had all my jazzy tunes here to be whatever anyone wanted to be, and it wasn't too loud. And then we had plenty of seating, and it ended up being really nice. Everyone had they were all skeptical. They were all skeptical. I can't say it, but they were that. And I put their mind at ease. I just said, just sit down, have a glass of booze, because that's the key. You want to make any party fun. You can fuck up any which way of Sunday, but make sure you have a drink. I learned that from being a really terrible waiter. So I was a terrible waiter, but I did learn a trick that as long as I made sure the table had booze, they could pretty much forgive everything else. They were very forgiving because I was very bad. Unless you were my first table. Oh my God, you got the Cadillac of service. If you were my first table, I knew everything about your life, your cat, your grandchild. I'd pull up a seat and invite myself to your dinner. I was invested in you. And then all my other tables could just die, whatever. I never paid attention to my other tables. So if you were my first table, you got the Cadillac of service. And if you were other tables, you died. Any Hoozlebees, highly recommend it. It turned out to be great. People had a wonderful time. They got to play DJ. They tell me, "Oh, play this song, play that song." We got YouTube videos popped up on the TV, and we got all sorts of snacks, tons of food. If we forgot anything, we just sent someone to the grocery store, but we didn't run out of anything. But we had everything we needed. It was infinitely cheaper, saving tons of money, and everybody had a rip-roaring good time. And then they all went off to their favorite bar and carried on. But I didn't have to deal with any of that. I just cleaned up while they went to the bar. Highly recommend it. Brunch at your place. Doesn't have to be fancy smancy. Get just a bunch of stuff from Costco. Again, for the price you would pay for one meal at some place, you can get muffins and all the breakfast items. And he made an egg dish that was super inexpensive to make, but fed everybody. And you're gonna be hard pressed to drag my ass out to eat again, because that was so much more fun. I had a blast. So highly recommend it. Well, I have prattled on and on about nothing, just my weekend, but you did get tips and tricks. So again, if the YouTube algorithm, AI, or whatever tips and tricks are, when you're over 40, don't even bother going out to the bars. If you do go out to the bars, go at 5:30, and then just when the new crowd ushers in, you can just usher out. It's around 7:30, you can leave. And that's a very cool, older vibe crowd. And don't do brunch out and about. It's expensive, and it's not nearly as fun. Have brunch at your house. Have somebody and make the price of admission a bottle of Prosecco. Everyone will have a rip-roaring good time. Highly recommend it. It's a must, must, must. All right. Oh, yeah, and wear sunscreen. Oh, I was so red. I did my run, and I thought it'd be cute. Again, this is before I saw myself in the mirror and how much Cinnamon Toast Crunch packed on the weight. I was like, I'm feeling myself. I'm on mile 4. Let me just take off my shirt and I'll get a little suntan. And no, I don't tan. My options are white or red. And I was red. And now I'm going to die of melanoma because I thought I was being cute. So, anywho, wear sunscreen. Cute ain't worth it. And then what other tips and tricks did I have? Oh, yeah. I already told you about the brunch at home. Okay. That's it. Thanks to my millions and millions of followers. You guys are awesome. No one's seen a video yet. I think this is my 7th one. But I know you're out there somewhere. Someday we're going to find each other. We're going to totally vibe. We're just going to be like, oh my gosh, it's totally vibe. I found this geriatric gay on YouTube, and it's a must to follow him. All right, holler at you later. Bye.